Tomb Raider is getting another installment, but this one is meant to unify the new reboots, like the trilogy. It's like Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
I think that's the order. Yeah, nailed it. And then all the other like 15 Tomb Raiders that started on the PS1, kind of making those stories more cohesive. So this story really kind of caught my eye because I wasn't a original Tomb Raider fan, but I really love the reboot, especially that first one. That first one was like a perfect game. So I guess, what do you guys think is the gameplay that we're going to see here? And then the one question I had was, do you think we're going to move away from the Uncharted-inspired gameplay that we kind of got in that new reboot? Do you think it's going to move back towards like platformy, puzzly things, not looking for something white to jump and hang on to and move around? So what do you guys think about that?
I don't even know what the originals played like. Were they puzzle game? Like, were they platformer?
They were like,
puzzle?
yeah, like 3D platformers, some puzzles.
Okay. Did you ever play? Go ahead.
No, I really like the reboots, so I would prefer that they don't go back.
Yeah, just keep making more.
Yeah, just give me more. I haven't played Shadow yet, but I loved Rise of the Tomb Raider, and if they just want to give me more of that, I'm down.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of how I feel as well. But I think maybe it's an attempt to like grab its own identity, because my first question was, do you think they're going to move away from the Uncharted inspired gameplay? It's like, it's kind of like Uncharted reskinned with Lara Croft, and if they kind of move away from the climby stuff, because that game was like there's just a lot of climbing. And it was cool that they gave her like
she's an ice pick.
I forget what like the ice pick, and then in the sequel they gave her 2 ice picks.
Ooh.
But that's just not what I feel like those were. And to compare, they made 3D Indiana Jones games, which we talked about 2 weeks ago, that were more like exploratory. They weren't like climbing. They were like a little bit dungeon crawly, a little bit like just trying to find treasure and solve puzzles in like a third-person perspective. I'm trying to think of another game to relate it to. They were just like action-adventure games, like pure action-adventure in a 3D environment. It's hard to explain. Like, it's not Zelda because there's more jumping, but maybe a little bit like Zelda. Zelda with guns.
Zelda with guns.
Solving puzzles, going into tombs.
Ever played the oh god,
the Temple of Osiris?
No, the games that were about the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Darksiders?
Darksiders. Those are more jumpy.
Zelda with guns?
They're essentially Zelda. But maybe that has platforming elements. It's definitely more action-packed than, the Tomb Raider reboot games. But yeah, they don't have guns, I guess. So maybe I'm wrong.
In Darksiders? I thought you did have a gun.
Actually, I don't know. I haven't played those games in a long time.
That's fine.
You might be right.
That's not really what the story's about.
Yeah. No, I was just trying to find the games that were relatable. I don't know.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, John.
A for effort.
A for effort. So yeah, if they moved like slightly away from like the climby climbs and just more into like the action adventure-y, like still doing some platforming, still doing some climbing, but like there's like scenes where you're just climbing. Like there was the scene in the first one where you just climb like a radio tower, right?
Yeah,
do you remember that?
I mean, I didn't really mind the climbing. I played the original on like the PS3. And actually, I just bought it definitive on the PS4 because it was $3 on sale.
It's worth way more than that, but that's a good ass deal.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Uncharted though, so like I didn't mind the Uncharted the way it played. So like I would be totally fine if they kept it the way it is.
Yeah.
I wonder if because the reboots are kind of dark, like the story, the tone of the story is pretty dark. Like the whole, I forget if it was the second one. And one of them, Lara kills somebody, and she's fighting, like with what that does to your mental state. But then she murders like.
It's probably the first one. It's the first one because she's like a little bit innocent when she crash lands on that island, and then she has to like kill people in cold blood, and then it escalates to her killing 1,000 people in cold blood.
Yeah.
Just getting an AK-47 and mowing people down because like they're hired mercenaries and treasure hunters, and they're like in her way.
That's how Uncharted is as well. Like,
yeah,
he's a cold-blooded killer. So maybe they'll go a little bit more lighthearted. I think you could correct me if I'm wrong, but like the original Tomb Raiders, they were more science fiction. Like it wasn't humans that she was fighting.
I think it's like Indiana Jones, where it's like there was some science fiction, but not all of it was science fiction.
Okay.
I think some of it was based in. I mean, I'm talking out of the side of my mouth right now because I only have so much of that old Tomb Raider knowledge. Tomb Raider. What is like the first one about? Oh my gosh. There's so many of them. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 of them before they did the reboots.
Yeah, but they're probably like, do they have main games and then there's like spin-offs?
Yeah, and I think some of them are like one of them's a remaster.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see, what does this say? Laura did some stuff in Egypt. Where's the story? Where's the synopsis? Here it is. Archaeologist adventurer Lara Croft is approached by mercenary Larson, who is working for businesswoman Jacqueline. This is actually like a 10-page synopsis. I'm not going to read it. Blah, blah, blah. This one's about Atlantis.
Okay, so that is not, completely realistic.
Yeah.
But I guess neither is Uncharted. I mean, they have supernatural things that happen in those games as well.
Yeah, I think it's basically just they all ripped off Indiana Jones, which is so interesting because now Indiana Jones is coming back as a video game.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they want to do a different take, because they know like you'll have Uncharted and Indiana Jones, which will be like essentially the same. Like maybe they want, like you said.
Well, isn't Uncharted dead? Isn't Naughty Dog moving away from Uncharted?
Yeah, but I mean that series is still,
still
it's
exists.
recent. It still exists.
It's not on current gen.
Not yet.
Like, actually, I think it's on the collection, the PS collection.
Yeah, I doubt that they're gonna let that go by the wayside though. That's a big property for them.
I mean, Naughty Dog has walked away from all of their major franchises. Crash, Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
What else? They do that. That's their thing. They're like, oh, we're done. We're gonna go do something else, and then Last of Us comes out, and everyone's mind explodes. So I'm happy when they walk away and do something new.
We're getting a little off topic.
But I think if we're talking about Nathan Drake, we're basically talking about Tomb Raider, so it's fine. I'm okay with it. All right, so I guess we can move on to the other Tomb Raider story. If you have any final thoughts on that, I think we're good.
Yeah.
So in other Tomb Raider news, there is a Netflix anime being developed for the franchise. Thoughts on that? So I had a couple things I want to ask you guys. Did you see the new movie? Or did you see the movie with Brad Pitt's ex-wife? Just kidding. Angelina Jolie.
Oh, the one like back in the 90s?
Yeah, it was like the early 2000s, and there was
Was
two
it?
of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't a 90s movie.
I don't think I've seen any of the movies.
I don't think I saw the Angelina Jolie ones, but I saw the one that was like based on the new games, and it was just super meh. And I remember being like really disappointed. I was like, "Oh, this looks like it's going to be so good," and then it was over, and I was like, "Oh, cool, another video game movie."
Yeah, I think it was just okay. Probably more towards mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I remember, that game, that movie was just really the reboot game put into a movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they she looks exactly like the costumes and everything are like basically stripped from the reboot.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good source material. Like we've been kind of raving about. Like that is a good game. It's a very good game. I would say that game is a 10, and people can argue with me about it if they want to, but it's a very, very good game.
I might pick up I don't know if I've ever played the actual first one, the first reboot. Maybe I'll
dude, apparently it's $3.
I probably already own it. I think I've gotten that like through PS Plus or like Games with Gold at some point.
Yeah, I think
so when I played the first one, I got it through PS Plus, but it was like on PS3, and I was like, actually, when I bought my PS4, I got the the Rise of the Tomb Raider with it, and that's just been like sitting in my backlog forever. And then this month they're offering Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I was like, oh, I don't have the first one, but then I saw this one was on sale, so now I have all three.
Nice. Yeah, dude, the second one starts off really cool. I know we haven't even talked about the anime yet, but like that like scene where you're like climbing up the side of a mountain. Yeah, that's so cool. But yeah, they're making an anime. So they've already tried to turn this into a movie before, which is what I wanted to bring up, and it's been with lukewarm success. I will say that they did choose attractive women to play her every time, so good job on that. But maybe spend more time on the
writing.
Script. Yeah, the actual like movie itself. So I wanted to link this to the Castlevania anime because I'm thinking it's the same animation studio doing it, but I could be wrong. And then also I wanted to note that in our script here, I wrote anime twice, and both times I put it in quotations because I've been corrected by people who are right to correct me. Anime is animation that comes from Japan. Just because something is in the anime style does not make it anime. So I wanted to say that extremely nerdy thing on the podcast. And just to clarify...
You just call it's like an animated series.
Yeah, but people are calling it an anime.
Ooh.
Like all the news sources, everyone who's reporting on this is calling it the Tomb Raider anime.
I mean,
and the Castlevania anime.
Is it created by a Japanese studio?
I don't think so. I think that's the thing. With Castlevania, it's for sure not. And then I was under the impression that Netflix, whatever company is doing it for Netflix, is also doing Castlevania. Dude, so much research squad happening in this episode. Castlevania, Netflix, animated series. The internet has it right. It calls it an animated series. Okay, what studio makes this? Predator Studio. What did that say? Frederator? I don't know how to read. Are they making Tomb Raider? Scrolling.
Yeah, IGN says Tomb Raider anime series.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's find out what studio's making it. Because it's not. I was wrong. It's not the Castlevania one. It's not Frederator. So Tomb Raider.
Maybe that's not been announced yet.
Yeah, maybe not. Oh, they're also doing Kong Skull Island, which is not a video game, but that's in this news story. Huge success with The Witcher, Castlevania anime. What adaptations of Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed are in the works? Do we know about
series?
This?
No, I did not know about that.
Interesting. I don't know if I want to watch those.
Actually, I think I've heard about the Assassin's Creed one.
I would watch like a really gritty live action Splinter Cell movie.
Yeah. No, that's why I like The Witcher so much.
Yeah, I like The Witcher a lot too. I'm kind of obsessed with it. So I don't know. I can't confirm nor deny that it's the same studio. I'm pretty sure it's not. Otherwise, I would have said it. I'm sorry. But that I feel like that the Castlevania anime is kind of divisive. I think some people absolutely think it's amazing, and some people don't like it. So I would imagine that this Tomb Raider series is going to be equally divisive. Yeah. People are going to be like, this is great. And other people will be like, this is derivative and terrible. Blah. Where's my fedora?
It's actually an animated series, not an anime.
Yeah. This is made in Canada, therefore it's a Canadian anime. I don't know if that's a real term. If it is, can someone please mail me some maple syrup to my P.O. box? I think that's all we got for Tomb Raider. Do you guys have any final thoughts on Tomb Raider? Or actually, what do you want from the anime? Do you want to see some cool sci-fi stuff? Do you want to see retellings of the stories we already know? What would you like to see in the anime?
I want them to cancel the anime and make it a live action. I don't watch animated series.
Dude, that's so much more expensive.
I know. But you asked what I want, and that's what I want.
All right, well, that's what John wants. Camilo, what do you want? I've got my Christmas list out. What do you want?
I don't necessarily.
I don't want it at all.
To be like a retelling. I mean, it'd be cool to like just some new stuff. I don't know, more like adventures of like what happens after the reboot trilogy.
Yeah. Would you want it to be like a episodic thing? Kind of like, remember like the old like X-Men stuff? Like that might be too old, but like it used to be like there was just like the Spider-Man episodes. There'd be a story and like they'd like beat that bad guy, and then the next episode like it's procedural, like it's episodic, just like SVU or whatever. Yeah. Would you want to see her like go on one adventure for like an hour? Or would you rather have it be like 13 episodes, half hour each, and it's like one story that they're trying to tell?
Oh.
The many adventures.
I mean, when
Lara Croft.
When I heard like what this was, I just thought it would be like each like you know, like you watch like a cartoon or an animated series. It's not like one story they're trying to tell over like 13 episodes. It's just like 13 unique adventures or something.
Well, with the Castlevania one, it's like a bunch of different storylines, but it's one cohesive arc that goes from like episode, like it's like spanning seasons. So it's like it's like Game of Thrones. It's like just going. So, all right. I think we milked that one. We drained that story of all of its value. I'm looking forward to it, though. I'll check it out. Like, I like the Lara Croft, the character, and I liked what they did with her and kind of made her less of like a... I mean, like, it's not like they made her like a hideous troll person in the reboot, but like they didn't like throw front and center like huge pointy boobs like this is what this character's about. They made like a very interesting, heartfelt story about a female lead. And, like, I liked that about the reboot, and I'm looking forward to seeing something like that in the anime. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the other stories this week, and let us know what you thought of today's story in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.